Hi. Good evening. Good evening, amazing people. Good evening, everyone on this call. I believe we all can hear me. Good evening, amazing Latera investors. It's happy to be here again this 2026. Wow. It's happy to be here 2026. I know I'm not the only one who is excited to be in this year. I know you also are excited. So I believe we enjoyed our holiday, we enjoyed our Christmas and New Year celebration. I enjoyed mine also, but the only thing I did not enjoy is the chicken you did not give me. All right, amazing people. I'm glad that we are here back, health in health and strong this amazing 2026. If you're here, I want to celebrate you. I want to welcome you specially. Please kindly write your name and where you're joining us from in the comment section. I want to celebrate you specially and I want to congratulate you for being part of 2026 because for God to bring us into this year, it means He has more and more plans for us. It means He has amazing plans for us. It's an opportunity for us to become better. It's an opportunity for us to grow. It's an opportunity for us to do amazing things together as Latera investors. Who is here already? Please type in the comment section so that I can read your comments and welcome you specially. Abi, Mr. Oyebuchi, I can see you joining us from the city of Onitsha. I believe you celebrated Christmas in a very good way, right? I believe you celebrated very well. Who else is here? Please write in the comment section so that I can celebrate you. I know one thing that most of us do every beginning of the year, people write a long list of resolution. Who is here? Operations Latera. That's Mr. Christian joining us from the city of Asaba. And then Pascaline from the city of Asaba. I really appreciate you guys for being here and for being part of what we are doing. All right. So people write a long list of resolutions, things that they are going to achieve in the year. I don't know if you've started with your own confidence, Abali. Wow, Sopruchuku joining us from the city of Asaba. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Please, if you're in the group, can you kindly go to the group and tag people? Tell them we are here. We've started. We've kick-started the year already. We've hit the ground running. And we don't want anybody to be left behind. All right? We don't want anybody to be left behind. So let them join what we are doing. Rita, Anita, joining all the way from the city of Asaba. I really appreciate you. So please, I don't know if you wrote your resolutions. I don't know if you wrote things that you want to achieve this year. The year is already, in fact, January is almost off. Is almost off. So I don't know if you've started achieving or you are still waiting for something to happen, maybe a spectacular a miracle to happen. I can see you, Sopuluchuku, joining from the city of Asaba, and Ifani Ozoa Esel, joining from the city of Asaba. Asaba people, I really appreciate you. All right. Today is another beautiful day that we're going to be having our mind shift section with our amazing leader, Sir Benedict Obiajulu. And I know he's really, really ready for us today. He's ready for us. Joseph Oleka is joining from the city of Asaba. Please tag people in the group. Tell them we are here. We've started so that they can join us to know what we are doing. All right. So we are going to be having our amazing leader, someone who has a vision and a mission and is following it through, raising amazing leaders from all around the world using his capacity. No other person than Sir Benedict Obiajulu, the MD of Latera. So we are going to be having a time with him this night, and I believe you are ready. I know the training is free. It is a free training, but there is something you have to pay because nothing is free in this, even in Freetown. So you have to pay what we call attention. So you have to pay attention, bring your pen and paper because this man that is coming up here right now is not just an ordinary person. You are going to be learning a lot from him. Please, with a clapping ovation, a shouting, and a jumping ovation, can we make welcome our amazing leader, Sir Benedict Obiajulu, to this wonderful platform this night? You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Chacha. Good evening. It's a beautiful, beautiful day, and I'm very happy to be here. Welcome everyone, and it is beautiful to have us today on this call. And just as I would always say, that the beauty of knowledge is that no man can take it away from you. And our DNA is so perfect that it seeks for higher expression, it seeks for better and better expression. And with that, it's beautiful that we understand that there are things that we must do to live a more fulfilling life, to be able to get to the echelon of what we seek, right? There are things that make people top performing, and there are things that make people average, and there are things that make people below performers. And you would always perform based on your network, right? You would always perform based on the knowledge that powers your action. You would always perform based on the competence you have to be able to deliver. And so when you come to the marketplace, what determines who you are in the market? It's one, your ability to do what you do and the difficulty ratio in replacing you, right? So your ability to do this. And then how difficult is it to get someone else that can do this in the way you do it? Those are the two things that determine what the reward you go out from, the reward you can take from the market. Because what the market cares about, it's how useful are you. People say it is the value that you are offering in the market, right? But I prefer to say it is how useful or the usefulness that you bring to the market. So, in what way can things get better because you showed up? In what way can things be more classical because you are there? In what way can things be easier? In what way can speed be achieved? In what way can things be seamless? Because you showed up. So today I want us to look at how do you become a sophisticated leader in 2026? Because we are used to new year, new resolution, new year, new me, but nothing changes as long as your paradigm remains the same. Nothing changes as long as you're doing the same thing that you kept doing, right? Nothing will change except you're building on something that is going to compound. But if not, if you do things the same way, you still get the same result. Right. So I want us to look at inwardly, as this is our first class for the year. And this year, we've been able to learn a lot of things. We've been able to have, if you've always showed up on this trainings, you know a lot of things. Your book is filled, right? But now we want to study something that will help us revitalize all those other aspects of them. And I won't take much of your time, but I would like you to pay rapt attention, have your pen and have your paper. So we can look at how do you grade your performance? How are you leading yourself? Because in the end, you're the leader of yourself. Before you will lead a family, you will lead yourself. Before you will lead a team of 3 or 5 persons, you will lead yourself. I'm leading my hand. I will move my hand, right? I will move my mouth. You are leading yourself to be on this call So you're first of all, how do you become a sophisticated leader? How do you become a leader that knows the way? How do you become the leader that takes assessment of yourself, leading yourself? That's what we're talking about, right? So, so all the people you know all the people you know, right? And most times when we talk about leadership, we say, oh, we look at Nelson Mandela, you look at your president, you look at your governors, you look at your this, you look at Donald Trump, you look at world leaders, you look at everybody. Then you come down, you look at your father, the head of the family, you look at the head of your company, you see it, you're coming down. Then remember, you also look at yourself. I am leading my hand. So, and funny enough, when we now extrapolate that view, when we extrapolate that view, then when we widen that view and we're looking at Donald Trump, we're looking at the president of the new world, we're looking at the president of Nigeria, we're looking at the governors of states, what are you going to see among these people? And that is what I want you to see when you're dealing with yourself. Now, they pay attention to a lot of things. Just like when we had our introduction, we had Chacha say that you must show up, and if you are showing up, you will show up you must pay, and that you must pay attention. So now these people are paying attention to something. And the goal here is I want to draw your attention to the things that world leaders pay attention to, sophisticated leaders pay attention to, leaders that you have said, oh, this guy is getting it right. These are the things he's paying attention. Because for you to do it big someday, you have to do it small today. You cannot be a disaster in small things and become incredibly good at big things. It doesn't work like that. It only works like that in Korean movies. In the real world, systems, structures, the light gets brighter and brighter. It's a path. The path gets brighter. Okay? You first have a path. And one of the things they pay attention to is performance. The second thing they pay attention to is numbers. The third things that top leaders pay attention to is standards. The fourth thing is systems. The fifth is network. The sixth one is visibility. And the seventh one is reputation. I want to take it again. What do top leaders pay attention to? Which invariably we're discussing that these are the things you should paying attention to yourself in this year. What should I be paying attention to myself in this year? Which every sophisticated leader is paying attention to their performance, their ability to do what they do, which is performance. A footballer is checking, oh, he's a star player, he's a leader. So what's his performance like? If he's a striker, how many goals did I score this season? How many goals have I scored this week? If he's a defender, how many tackles was I able? How many balls was I able to recover from strikers? If he's a goalkeeper, how many balls did I save? If he's the president of economy, what of a country? What's the economy of the state, of the nation? What's the economy? What are the numbers? How are we performing? How are our people? What's the GDP? What's all those numbers? So performance, right? Numbers, standards, because there are cases where performance and numbers don't tally, right? Standards, are your standards being upheld? Oh, you set a particular target for yourself. Oh, I want to be waking up by 7. I want to be waking up by 6 o'clock. I want to be waking up by 5, right? The network, are you growing your network? Or you believe, oh, the only people that know everything you earn ends in your own pocket. You're not using what you earn to build network. I will borrow a statement from Apostle Salman. He said something. remarkable statement. It says that if or that when you get resources, you should use it to buy network, right? When you get resources, you should use it to buy network. So that don't when you have money, use it to buy reputation, right? Use it to buy network. Use it to make sure that you use it to get more people to know, oh, this is who you are. And because there are days that you will not be able to pay for everything you have. There are days you may not have an access, and it's just a person's name that can grant you that access, and that money may fail. Right? So are you using it to, are you working on the network? Then are you working on your visibility? Are you checking what my visibility like? Because out of mind is out of sight, right? Then reputation. Because when you have a poor reputation, as oh, you're not someone that they know that you're competent, you're so good in what you're doing, extremely good, but you don't have the reputation that is matching what you are delivering. You're the best in the industry. You're the best in the Asaba market. You're best in the real estate market. But your reputation is here. People will not be finding you here. You can be as solid and you're here. Because forced representation of skill, that's bad reputation. It's already bad. It's not good for you. I know of I think it was Bill Gates. Yes, all of us know Bill Gates, and he said that if he has his last dollar, he will invest it on his reputation. If he was down to his last dollar, that he will invest it on his reputation. So, so these things are important. So I want you, as you're looking at yourself every week, take an assessment. How has my performance been this week? What are my numbers? How much came to me and how much did went out? What standard did I keep for myself that I'm upholding? And for you to lead, you must have standards. There are places you know now, no matter what you won't go, right? There are systems you must have in check. So I hope we got the, this these points that we made. Remember, I said for you to lead, for you to be top leaders, you must have people that you're mirroring. And we have brought down the leadership to ourselves. For you to lead yourself right, that there are some critical things you must be constantly paying attention to, and that one of them is your performance. The second is numbers. The third is standards. The fourth is systems. Then your network and your visibility and your reputation. Never have a reputation. Now, there are people that their performance is here, right? And their reputation is very high. Those are the times you say, oh, when you now get close to the person, you say, this guy is a scam artist. Yeah, it now looks like it's a fraud, right? Because this guy, he has done so much in his reputation. His reputation is crystal clear. You know him as the best, and you come close, there is nothing, right? His performance is below average, is below par, is just almost zero, and he's looking like, oh, this guy, if you don't go to him, whatever you're doing is toast. Now, that to me is a scam, right? Your job is not to look like a scam. Your job is to have an equal reputation that shows an equal representation of your skills. So as you're working on increasing your visibility, having a positive PR, you're working assiduously to increase your what? Your skill, so they can match. When you have a very high skill and a low reputation, a positive PR, what happens? You lose out massively in the marketplace, meaning you're keeping a lot of money. People want someone they can talk to, someone they can refer to, someone they can do business with, someone they can trade with, somebody they can buy properties from, someone that can advise them. But your PR is too low and you know so much. So you are not, you're doing the market a disservice because the market doesn't know you because you have not invested in good PR for people to know that such and such and such a person exists. Right? But instead of you having a glistering reputation without a substance, work on a substance before working on PR. But remember the words of Bill Gates, right? When a man is well traveled, when a man has seen life more than you, when a man understands the concept of wealth, when he talks about wealth related matters, you should pay attention. He says, if he's down on his last dollar, that he would invest it on reputation, on his PR, right? He will invest it on his reputation. So now, because when you're trying to lead yourself, there are some aspects that you must know. Excuse me. Right? When you're trying to lead yourself and you're trying to lead yourself into a betterment, there are some key things that you must never forget. Right? Because if you perform within, when you, every week, when you take an assessment of these critical elements, these 7 elements we've pointed, and you come down to say, oh, I'm performing, but you're performing below average, right? Because you have a benchmark. You grade yourself 1 to 7. And then you notice you're performing beyond below average. You know what you're going to do? You have to get up. You have to get up. You have to stop sitting on your ass because you cannot be promoted. You cannot move to the next level if you're performing below average. Remember who is a winner? We've talked about this before. Who is a winner is the man that wins today. And if you win enough days in a week, right, you've won the week. If you win enough weeks in a month, like 3 weeks in a month, you win the month, right? If you have a lot of victories in the month, right, you win the year. And if you win a lot of years in a decade, you win the decade. And if you win a lot of years and decades in your life journey, you win at life. Right? So if you perform below average, you don't expect 2026 to be better than 2025, right? What the job is, oh, these are the targets I've set. You may not be 100 every day. You may not hit a 90 every day, but at least there are days you hit 90 and there are days you may hit 4. So at the end, when there is a tally, you have 8, you have 6. Does someone get what I'm saying? What I'm saying is it in any way trickling you to have some mental regurgitations of what is really visible? Because now, in terms of outcomes comes because of energy levels. When you have high energy, and what drives high energy level? Most high energy levels comes as a result of your state. Your state in terms of the state of your mind, in terms of, are you happy, are you sad, have you done exercise, have you exercised, have you moved your body? These are the things that increases your energy level. Because remember, in most times you hear people talking about energy, they tell you your frequency, raise your frequency, and what you want, you become one with what you want. There's a line that is in metaphysics. The line goes like this. Is a very important line when you're studying metaphysics, how things manifest, right? He says that everything has its own energy, everything has its own frequency. So you just have to match your energy to the energy of what you seek. So you're seeking something. Okay, so let me break it down. Depending on your mood, there are things you will not want to attempt, right? Depending on your mood, there are things you will not want to. When you're very happy, you tend to have a lot of burst of energy. And then if you have a goal, you're more likely to actualize and achieve your goal, right? And if you're in that state when you are constantly unhappy, constantly depressed, constantly not moving your body, there's lethargy, there is this, and okay, one of the okay, as something just hit my mind. One of the reasons most people exercise, right? Okay, as funny as it may sound, right? The poor sometimes exercise because they want to burn fat, right? But the rich most times exercise because they want to be mentally fit. They want to be in that, they want to have that rushing burst of energy. They want to hold on to that perseverance to know that, so that their energy doesn't go down in the face of rejection. Those are two different things. Some exercise to burn fat, some exercise to those that are doing that for energy, to have a high energy level. Funny, they are also burning fat. But do you see, they have stepped from one ladder to another. And that is what we talk about standards. Remember, we talked about 7 things that you must hold yourself accountable to, which are the hallmark of every great leader. There are 7. They are constantly working on network. There are people that are imitating, oh, okay, in 20 years, this guy is likely to be the IG of police, so he can be my friend today. Yes. Vodi is one of the leaders in the industry of tailoring, right? And when you meet him, he will tell you that most of the people that you see him balling and rolling with, he had a system that would tell him that these people are likely to be the people that are going to lead in the affairs that they control, or in the affairs, or in the sphere, or in the sector they are playing in. And funny enough, victory leaves clues. Just like we say, success leaves clues. The people that will win, when you look at them well enough, you will see the signs that they will win. So there are things you must practice, right? So because if you're looking at to increase your performance, to increase your numbers, to make sure you are performing at the standards you set, there are things you must do. Because there's something we call the 10,000 hours rule. That if you practice something for 10 hours, you become better. The first time I started speaking in front of a camera like this, I felt awkward. It was awkward and awkward and awkward, because I'm just used to talking to people physically, right? But now I'm going, maybe I'm at my 50th hour, but by the time my 10,000 hours, I'm a professional, right? That law says that there's a law of 10,000 hours, that for you to become good, for you to become extreme good at something, that you have to practice this for 10,000 hours. So, my people, so there must be skills you must develop. There must be a mindset that you must develop. There must be a head, is it something I call heart set, where your heart is set on this, right? Although it can also be intertwined with mindset, but I would like to bring it out here. Something like a heart set. Your heart is set that this is where we're going. And despite the obstacles, we will get there, right? Maybe you meet a big bully on your way and you bow to the big bully, but you know, after putting up a fight with the big bully, you still know that tomorrow you'll get there. Because you know that one day you become big, like the small dog that fights with the big dog in the street, and every day the big dog beats the small dog. But you know the truth. If the dog, they can keep beating the dog every day and beating the dog every day. We have seen it. If you look at your street while you're growing up, you could have seen that happen. And he keeps beating the small dog, keeps beating the small dog. at a point, the small dog will come and the big dog will not run. Not because that the big dog will not beat the small dog again. He will still beat it, but the big dog is running because he's tired. I'm tired of this fight. Okay. And that is something that your heart is already set. So you are emotionally connected to your trade. So more like you're emotionally connected to your trade, you're emotionally connected to your career, you're emotionally connected to your entrepreneurship. You just know, oh, the market will beat me. The market will beat me today, but I will not give up. But the truth is, the market cannot beat you continually forever, because failure is feedback. And feedback is a springboard to success, because feedbacks are mechanisms that we use to study what has gone wrong and what has gone right, and know how do we position for betterment. Okay, so I don't know if there are still people on this call. So I would like to, if you remember what we talked about the 7 key criteria that you must be looking out for, right? 7 key criteria that you must be looking out for your own self, which is in the wider audience. But what are those concepts we talked about? Please, I would like to be sure that I have people on this call that are paying attention and are going to use this to revolutionize their life in 2026 and beyond. Because the beauty of life is in changing your game, right? In changing your game in 2026 and beyond, in changing your game. There's nothing wrong in copying, right? But it's a tragedy that when you are 60, when you are 70, when you're at a point, your strategy is not to copy people. No, that's a tragedy. But for now, in changing your game, in getting your game in order, copying, there's nothing wrong in copying. But it becomes a tragedy if you keep copying. So you have to develop your own strategy. Does somebody get what I've just said? Yes, we talked about performance. Thank you. Yes, we talked about performance. You must your grade your performance every weekend when you come back. Every Saturday evening, have a tete-a-tete with yourself. Have a talk with yourself, right? Have a talk with yourself, right? Have a self-examination. What has my performance been this week? What are my numbers? What are the outflows? Right? You have to check that. Didn't we get those 7 criteria that we're talking about that you must be working on? Because the bulk of our training tonight is focused on that 7. I've only gotten performance. This is the only performance what we got. And we want to know, is it only the performance that we had? Hello? Are very few people on this call. Yes, we have numbers. Very important. Yes, you must know your numbers. Know your numbers. What are your inflows and what are your outflows? Know your numbers. I had a mentor talk about a story one day that while he was looking for a lady to marry, so on the head of his bed, he keeps a jotter, right? So every morning that enters his hand, he writes it down. And when somebody goes, and so he had this girl that came to visit him, and the girl opened the jotter and asked him, "What is that?" He told him, "Look at it, you can see it." And the girl looked at it, and last week he gave the girl some amount of money. I can't remember. Let's just say it's 10,000, but that might not be it, or that might be it. And the girl saw her name and saw 10,000. So it was a book that he used to record what came in and what went out. And that is how you check your numbers. That's how you check your numbers. So seems like what we're learning today is a bit technical, or we're not following, but what I can see here, it's only performance and numbers. Now I would like to take that again, and I would like you to go all out and look at what this is about, right? So it says for people to become sophisticated leaders, for you to, that all sophisticated leaders, they care about 7 things. They care about 7 things, and that is their performance. They care about, if they are footballers, they care about how are they performing in the pitch. If they are footballers, they care about what are their numbers. Oh, let's use ourselves for example. So let me bring it home. What do I care about? Right now, I care about how's my performance, how's my leadership, how's our acquisition processes, how is it getting better, what are our numbers, what's the inflow, how many plots am I selling, what's coming in and what's going out, right? And then I'm carrying, okay, what are my personal standards, things that I know these are industrial standards, yes, I get them. I'm going to keep to these industrial standards, but what standards am I setting for myself? So am I constantly keeping those standards? Right? Then I'm asking, oh, which system do I have in place? Which system do I have in place? Which systems do I have in place? Do I have any system that, oh, once this money hits my account, 20% is going, there's an automatic withdrawal notice that I've written to the bank that it will go here. Oh, which system do I have in place? As little as I am sure that, oh, I have food that can last me for 3 days, for 3 months, for 6 weeks. These can be systems, right? What's my morning routine like? That can be my system, right? Or once I woke up by 6, I know I'm going to do this, do this, do this, do my exercise, do my meditation, take a little walk, and that's it. The network. So if there is a police case, do I have a commissioner I can call? If it's in Abuja, do I have a DIG? Do I have an AIG I can speak with? If it's a military case, oh, do I have a brigadier? Do I have a major general that I can speak with? Oh, if it's a very minor case, do I have a military captain? Oh, if I want to get into a deal in Germany, do I have someone in Germany that can be my next of call? If I want to get something here, do I now? Because network has to do with people. It has to do with people that you have here. That, and funny enough, network is about giving. So if you're not willing to give, you're not willing to build network. We always say it, right? We're in the era of relationship currency. Nothing is more powerful than relationship currency. A man was once asked, I think it's in the book Think and Grow Rich, that if he loses his wealth, what will he do? And he says that if he loses his wealth, that he will go and look for where the richest men in a city congregate, and he will find himself there. And that is pure networking. You get it. And then we'll talk about visibility. Out of sight is out of mind. If people When people think of what you do, you sell land in Asaban, people think of what you do and your name doesn't come up on their mind, you are out of sight and you are out of mind and you are out of money, right? That their money will not get to you. And then we talked about reputation. All right, I want to stop this class here, but I want you to look at, is it possible that you could use the remaining time that we have in this class and look at these 7 critical criteria as on how can I work on them? We said that when you have such a high reputation, right? When you have such a high reputation and when you have such a high reputation and your skill is very low, it looks like you become a scam artist. This is your reputation and your skill is here. You become a scam artist, right? And then most of us here have very high skills, high selling skill. We know a lot about the industry. Our reputation is this way. And you know what happens? You leave all this money, you're leaving it on the table. Because when people are looking for you, all the people on top here, they are looking, they can't see you. And according to Bill Gates, not me, not the billionaire in your village, according to Bill Gates, that has been world richest man for decades, right? Almost 2 decades. He says that if he was down to his last dollar, he would invest in his reputation. So, my people, go home, grade yourself every week this month, grade yourself. And that's that. I want to I I want you to think on that, 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 think on that. Study these 5 metrics. Thank you for everyone in the comment section. Our comment section is coming alive. To be sure that I have people behind that I'm talking for. That you must grade your performance. Yes, self-examination. You must know your numbers. You must set standards that you live by. Then you have a system, and you're grading yourself by that system. Then your network, you're building it constantly, you're increasing your visibility, and you're working on your reputation. People that attack your reputations are your core enemies, and they must be treated as such, right? So thank you, everyone. I want you to look at this, but the point is the self-assessment that comes with this and the after effect of what it is. And we said that for you to look at this, that you must be developing your skills. You must have the correct mindset. We must have the correct heart set. Your heart is already set. Remember the bulldog story, the small dog and the big dog. The small dog is always the big dog is always beating the small dog. Every day is beating the small dog. But one day he just sees the small dog. He just no, not again. I cannot come. I know I can beat you, but he will go. He will just draw back. He's not ready to fight. And then the small dog takes the victory for that day without fighting. And that should be the kind of emotional connection you should have to your career, to your business, and because at a point, the disaster will become a master at a point. But if you don't keep willing to take those feedbacks as those feedbacks that are failures, to not to keep hitting and willing them, you will get it. So I think the last one I didn't talk about was soul set. Soul set is more like an instrument of dominion, and your soul is set that this is what we must do. We either do it or we don't do it, right? And we either do it, sorry, or we do it, right? So that's that. And I want us to permutate, to regurgitate this. Okay. So I would love the media to take over from here. I would love the media team to take over from here. And I would like to know and be sure that you assess yourself, even starting this night. Because if you can do that, you can create a different 2026. And that is a way you can be rest assured that the graph is going up. You can always go from vision to victory. So thank you so much, and welcome, Chacha. It's
Thank
beautiful
you so
to
much, Sarah. Thank you so much, sir. It's always an amazing thing to, listen to you and to hear from your wealth of wisdom. Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate you, and we appreciate everyone on this call for staying put till this time. We learned a whole lot, especially the one that stood out for me is when it comes to, networking and visibility. It's something that all of us need to really, put in check. It seems I what I talked about before he come up, talking about paying attention, and then when he came up, he talked about paying attention to what rich people pay attention to, and it's something I would say it's amazing. We have to pay attention to performance, numbers, standard, network, our network and visibility, reputation. And a whole lot of things has been said, and I believe that we all are going to be putting them into practice come 2026, which we're already inside. So if you want to have an amazing year, please remember If you win enough of the days, you can win a week. If you win enough weeks, you can win a month. And if you win enough months, you can win the year. So let 2026 be the year that we make count. Make it count. All right. I noticed something. All of us on this call, please do well to like this video, share, and comment. It's good a thing we've comment our location, also comment what you learned. Okay, I can see someone here, Chukwulozie, Chukwulozie Ezigwe. You mentioned what you learned, and I love that. So please, everyone, mention what you learn, and also please like this video and share it so that so that YouTube can be able to share it to people that are people that are like you and I, that love amazing things. All right. And if you know anybody who is not on this call, please make sure you remind them so that they can join for the next one. I believe information will be passed in the group. Also, our first physical training of the year happened on Saturday, and it was amazing. It was amazing. If you missed it, you missed out. So don't miss the next physical training. Every information is going to be communicated in the group. So be vigilant and also be expectant. It is going to be amazing sections. Thank you for joining us this night, and thank you for being part of what we are doing in Latera. And Latera, we are building a community of wealthy people, and I'm glad that you and I are part of it. Thank you, and do have a good night rest. Bye.